Welcome everyone back to weekly weather updates, and in today's video we're going to have the latest from the live radar, run for the latest UKV, have a look at the precipitation and the temperature over the next 5 days. So we are progressively going to get warmer as we head into the weekend, and Sunday we could see temperatures around the 23 to 25 degree range. Monday could be even warmer. But as we alluded to in yesterday's video, there is the risk that we could see some thunderstorms breaking out, especially in the south and the west, as we do see a small area of instability, a little low pressure system arriving as we see those southerly winds pushing it. So yes, turning warmer, potentially hot in a few spots for a short period of time, but could bring the risk of some thunderstorms and some more energy through Sunday, Monday, and maybe even Tuesday. As we progress into the longer range, warm and dry is generally the theme. I do think there will be an increased risk of storms as we do progress through towards the middle of May, as the high pressure does look centred slightly further north, which will encourage southerly or southeasterly flows, which as said will be warm, but there could be undercuts in terms of seeing some instability, and that could bring the risk of showers and storms further into May. So we need to keep a very close eye on that, as that could pop up at very short notice. But at the moment, high pressure does look like it is going to be in control. The lower pressure signal that we've been seeing a little bit this week has dissipated away a bit in the models today. Doesn't mean there's no chance, but yeah, definitely doesn't look as high a chance. So we'll have to wait and see, but nonetheless, very interesting to see what those models are showing in the second half of the video. So do remember, if you enjoy my videos, to like and subscribe. And you can see as we're recording this around 8 PM in the evening, conditions are dry once again. A few odd showers around across Northern Ireland. You can see just an odd shower here or there, but generally speaking, not much going on. And if we do put on the temperatures, it's not warm today, but it's definitely warmer than it's been earlier this week. That wind in from the east is slowly getting cut off, reducing in wind speed, and that will allow those temperatures to rise up a little bit higher in the next couple of days. Now, do head over to the latest UKV now. You can see not too much going on at the moment. And you can see as we progress into the weekend, continue to see fairly dry conditions and increasingly sunnier conditions, especially into Saturday. But into Sunday, we start to see a few rumblings of showers and storms in the far southwest. Now, this increases in intensity into Monday, and you can see quite a few pop-up storms breaking out in the north and the west there through Monday afternoon. Again, we'll have to wait and see the severity and the positioning of these, but quite consistent storm development here on the latest few UK reruns. So definitely looks quite likely to see some sort of activity. Just what sort of activity, that will be the question. And then you see as we head into Tuesday, still looking, yes, a little bit unsettled, but hopefully those thunderstorms do clear through the evening. You can see as we have a look at those max temperatures, you can see as we head into Friday, temperatures are going to be pretty chilly overnight. And again, into the afternoon, could just about get towards the 19 or 20 degree mark. So warm, but nothing spectacular, hovering around average for the time of year. Into Saturday, those temperatures will rise slightly higher, probably around the 20 to maybe 22 or even 23 degree range. So slightly above average, turning warmer. And then into Sunday, the temperatures do start to peak, and you can see around 24 to 26. So looking fairly warm there, a good 4 or 5 degrees above average for most. And yes, very pleasant conditions into Sunday afternoon. You see that warmth hangs around into Monday as well, maybe even 26 or 27, but it's not going to get much higher than that, at least at this stage, because of the shower and storm development. It could cool those temperatures down in those spots, and of course it will bring a lot more cloud if those storms really do take off. So if we want to watch, Monday could even be a 28 degree day, but that will all depend on how much storm activity do we see. Now, if you head over to the latest GFS, see what's in store for the next couple of weeks. Again, high pressure in control at the moment, but with that southeasterly tilt into Sunday and Monday, you can see that low out to off southwest, and that combination provides the instability, warmth and energy, and that produces those thunderstorms. Progressively, the low clears, we see high pressure building in over the top of us. So for much of next week, it does turn drier, and it will be fairly warm again. If we look at the upper air temperatures, they're not spectacular. They're hovering around the 5 to 7 degree mark. So we again would be looking at most likely around 20 degrees. 20 to 22 is the top temperature here. So warm and pleasant. It could be warmest in the north towards the centre of the low. So very pleasant. Just nothing spectacular, if that makes sense. Nothing 25 to 30 degrees. Some would argue that's even too warm. But yeah, a nice, beautiful spring-like 20 to 22 degrees for all. You see, into the subsequent days, eventually, potentially some low pressure breaking through, combining with that warmth, and that could produce more showers and storms. So definitely a signal remaining further into May of maybe more of a stormy, unsettled outlook. But at this stage, high pressure definitely looks in control, at least for the next week to 10 days. Now, if we have a look at the latest GM now, again, broadly very similar as we head towards the weekend. Again, a bit of a southeasterly tilt. High pressure continues to stay in control. And then again, towards day 10, it moves a bit further northwards and allows slightly lower heights to get involved. You can see the upper air temperatures, some warmth around, and that would potentially allow for thunderstorms to develop. Nothing too active at this stage, but just from looking at those synoptics, we would expect to see a bit of activity over the subsequent days with those low pressure systems undercutting it. But generally, at least out to day 10, it does look fairly dry and fairly pleasant. And then finally, if we compare to the latest ECMWF, again, broadly similar. I think midday runs actually just come out, so we can actually look at that. You see, broadly very similar with the high pressure involved. Low pressure just out to our southwest, and eventually the high pressure stays more in control towards day 10. But again, nothing amazingly warm. Temperatures around average or slightly above average. Upper air temperatures around 5 or 6 degree mark, so a couple of degrees above average. So pleasant. As I said, nothing out of this world, but I think most would be very satisfied with 20 to 22 with lots of sunshine and minimal cloud. Now, if you do look at the latest on samples, you can see this. So the next few days, we do rise to above average, about 5 degrees above average. The average this time of year is around the 3 or 4 degree mark at 850 HPA. So we get up to around the 8 or 9 degree mark. So about 5 degrees above average. And then said the average and the high will get to around the mid-20s as well. Beyond that, though, we drop back closer to average, but still persistently about 2 or 3 degrees above average. So still pleasant, still probably low 20s, but most likely not much higher than that. You can't see many very warm ensemble members. So yes, I think it will remain warm, but I don't suspect we'll see anything above about 25 degrees. That doesn't look like a real possibility with this sort of air mass involved. Precipitation is low to moderate, so definitely a risk of showers. As you can see through Sunday, Monday, those thunderstorms definitely starting to cluster there, and potentially longer range and increase as well. And if you finally compare to the latest ECMWF ensembles, again, broadly very similar, warmer as we head into the weekend and staying persistently warm as we do progress further through May, but definitely quite a lot of precipitation spikes appearing there Sunday and Monday, and some higher ones as we head into the longer range as well. So although, yes, warmer conditions are coming. It's been a fairly cool week. We're not going to see the same warmth and heat we saw last week. We got up towards 28, 29 degrees, but 24, 25 nonetheless is still very pleasant. Maybe even a 26, 27 if we get lucky on Sunday and Monday. So not quite the same heat, but definitely a more pleasant warmth, and it could be fairly persistent as well. So anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. I'll keep you updated over the next few days, and I'll see you again for another video soon.